Okay, hello, I'm back. I just had to go. Uh, well, first I had to change the battery, and then I also had to check on the spaghetti, and I decided to keep the simmering going on with the lid off. And I want a dry fucking spaghetti. I want my spaghetti sauce to be dry, in fact. I'm fine with that. That's okay. No, it's not going to be like a peanut butter sandwich where I have to drink some juice just to get it down. It's going to be good. So don't be fucking telling me that I ought to be putting the lid on with a crack. Capiche? Because frankly, I'm starting to think you don't know who's who around here. I've been doing all this work, going down to the fish store, wringing the fishes out, making fish sauce, and you know I'm a vegan. Working at the fish store all day. Hey, it's in my imagination. Yeah, okay. It's in my imagination. Okay, yeah. No, I admit it. I admit it. But let me ask you this. If it's so much different, if it doesn't count when it's in your imagination, then why do I spend just as much time putting in work as a fucking regular whatever normal worker, whatever you want to call it, someone who doesn't work out of their imagination? So anyway, I was actually wanting her to cry. I wanted her to cry because she was a fucking. I couldn't see it until recently when I looked through my pictures, and I saw her face for the first time, and I thought, "Oh my god, that's what you look like." I looked at her face. I said, "You're evil. My femdom fantasies have come true. I can see the deception in your eyes, in our sex pictures." In our every pictures, I can see the deception in your eyes. Oh my god, you're evil as fuck. You are so. I mean, her body was crazy, crazy level. Like, she was a 10. She was a 10. But her face was as bad as it gets for a 10. Imagine the level. Okay, so imagine you might not know the difference. There's there's people who drink wine, and there's wine that cost $100,000 for a glass. And there's a lot of people who have only drank $20 glasses or $1,000 glass, and they don't know the difference between a $50,000 bottle and a $100,000 bottle. They can't taste the difference. But some people, what am I talking about again? Some people can taste the difference. Some people know the difference between what and what. What the hell was I talking about? Um, well, something about my that girl. I wanted to make her. She was crying. I lied to her because, but I didn't. At first told you I didn't want to make her cry, and then I said no, I did, and that might sound a little bit contradictory if you're taking me seriously at all, which you might not be. But if you are, that might be a little contradictory, a little flippant. But I had a reason for that. There was an excuse. And again, I can't remember it, but it was there. But the thing about her is so everyone has different things that makes their. Oh, okay. Her body. She had the $100,000 bottle of wine body that even she didn't know because it was so rare how valuable it was. And her face was maximally fucked up. Her face was maybe, I don't know, given her full skull shape, her full skull, everything about her head, her eyes, she had beautiful eyes, you know, Um, she had perfect facial symmetry. I'm just trying to beat around the bush here. Her face, I'm trying to give it an 8, but I'm really gonna give it a 7.5. But her body is a fucking, it's beyond a 10. It's so far beyond that you haven't even, you could go your entire life and you could never see something like that again in your life. And I know another girl like that who has a face like that. Her face is so far beyond that you could go your entire life and you'll never see someone in your entire life with a face that beautiful. And so, because the rarity is such that she didn't know the value of her own body, she thought her face brought her hotness down to less than it was, which made God a liar in her eyes, which made her hate God and turn to the devil. Now, in her mind, she was raised as a a fanatical believer, and in her maturity, she realized that that was just silly, stupid, retard, faggot talk, and she now just makes it ambiguous. And she says, "I believe in something spiritual. I don't really know what it is, but I feel it. That there's something higher and more powerful and bigger than me." Okay, that's what she. But it doesn't mean she's. It doesn't have any real world effect. In the real world, she's like, "How can I snake the cum out of the guy, get his money, and then get the hot pockets? And then I want the hot pockets with the extra bacon." Someone she's the type of person who, even though she has money, she'd still buy hot pockets or something like that. Which I guess that's cute or something. No, I guess that's cute. I guess that's actually not cute. I guess that's completely normal, and I'm a fool for even making a big deal out of it. Because when you buy something conventional like that, even though it's cheaper and arguably not good, people say, "Oh, look at that. The president, Putin, is saying he likes the Whopper. He's trying to associate with the common man. You think that Putin eats Whoppers? He's lying. He actually eats steak." Okay, maybe that's true. I don't know. But if I had ultimate money, I'd still be getting at some point, and I wasn't vegan. I mean, even as a vegan though, because lots of these chains have vegan stuff, I'd be going to fast food places because the fast food place is like there's so much science behind that. It's the same meal every time. I guess a restaurant has that too, but a restaurant meal or a fast food meal is like a cigarette or something, to the effect of it being so addictive. It's so calculated, it's designed. There's people in the labs sitting. It's not like some restaurant where it's just some owner going, "Okay, mom's recipe for potatoes." It's people in labs and they're making special chemicals to make it addictive. It's going to be really, really good. Like the most, it's going to be so good that it's going to make you want to die for it. It's going to make you want to get addicted and get obese and eat it till you die. And you're going to have to restrain yourself. That's how good it is. So I'd get fucking fast food if I'd be getting, Pop Tarts and all these things. And as for but I'd never really did like Hot Pockets. But she would be the type who would get Hot Pockets in the microwave, even though she has the money to have something better. I don't know. Or you know what she used to do? She would drink a pop out of a can a day after it's been opened. Isn't that gross? Isn't that just the most gross thing you've ever heard of? I just couldn't believe how gross that was. And the only time she ever relaxed was when she was on acid. And then, then she just didn't interrupt me while I was doing something. But, anyways, because her rarity prevented her from knowing her value, she felt cheated by God. She felt that life wasn't fair. Oh my God, I tried my best. Okay, I did whatever it took in my previous lives, in my karmic growing up. She said she prayed for big tits, and you know, whatever she did, it worked. She put all the work in, and it worked. But then she got tricked into thinking that she's actually not that hot. Certainly, other women would be doing this. Women really like wearing masks and all that religious fanaticism in the Middle East where the women have to cover their faces. A lot of the women like that because the ugly women say, well, look, we're all the same now. So she was always cheating on me, and I think she really enjoyed it. I one time did something she didn't like, and she pinched me to stop me. I was like making a scene at the restaurant or something. And I was like, oh man, that's really violent. You shouldn't do that. I tried pinching someone in my family once at a restaurant to make them shut up when they were talking too loud and it was embarrassing me. And they said they'd kick me in the balls. They really got all uppity with me. And I was like, okay, I guess. I mean, if you want to look back at our entire history, I kind of feel, I don't know. So I said, yeah, I just cheated on you, ha ha ha, but I actually didn't. And then I told her that I lied to her, and she started crying, and she was just crying and crying and crying. And I was like, oh man, that really set you off. She stopped trusting me at that point. Now, for me, trust is different because let me let me think about it for a minute here. Well, trust is love, and that has nothing to do with whatever trip she was on. Oh, I'm loving being single. And but I have these girlfriends, and maybe they dump me, but if there's, I hope they're still around. But if they're still around, I mean, I still think of them. They're still around to me, and I really like them. But otherwise, I'm happy. I'm single. You couldn't even imagine what it's like. I mean, as a woman, if you want to complain about men, as a man, a woman is like a soldier, and you're like a civilian. Like, get down, get down, get down. That's the dynamic. There's no there's no communication. There's nothing goes both ways. It's just get down, get down. Gun always aimed at the head. Only voice screaming. No questions, just commands. Just get down, get down. Don't move, get down. Stay still. Stay still, soldier. Then she starts filleting. Get down. And you poke your head up to see if she's gone, and she shoots you in the head. So you keep your head down for hours after she's gone. But anyway, so I'm seeing her picture, and I had always looked at her body so much. I had never really looked at her face. And I was like, wow, you're fucking deceptive. But that happened again with this other gang stalker girl who I was this my ex I don't think was a gang stalker, this particular ex. But there was this other one who I think she was a gang stalker, and I really really loved her. I actually loved her even more, but in hindsight I didn't love her more because in hindsight, I mean, yes, I did love her more. Of course, I loved her more easily. Obviously, she was my favorite. But but now that I know that she was never really that hot to begin with, I'm like, yeah, she was my favorite, but it was because I didn't even know what was what. I didn't even know she wasn't even that hot. And again, she was very abusive because the rarity of her face was and remember I have my left eye is lower than my right one. Um I don't know if my bones are unlovably freakishly ugly, but certainly looks and feeling inadequate has been a theme of my life. I've related and made fun of people a lot who are ugly and said, "Oh, they're obviously their life is a whole waste," or that person's nose looks kind of big. I bet they wonder if their whole life is a waste. I bet maybe probably they think their whole life is a waste because of their nose, and they don't admit that obviously. But once in a while, they think it as a joke or as some kind of an exercise in just trying it on to see how it feels to say something like that to yourself. And they go, yeah, and mockingly, as if it's really a joke. And they go, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. All my low self esteem, it's all because of that. And all my problems, too. Um, okay, are my bones freakishly ugly, freakishly tiny, is my eyes freakishly asymmetrical? I don't know, but I spent a lot of time focusing on beauty. And especially because if you don't have it, you want it, so you find it in someone else. Like if you're ugly, you might want to have someone who's really beautiful because then it makes you feel beautiful. And that's what I did. So I was obsessed with beauty. So was able to discern the $100,000 value of this girl's face and of this other one's body, but because I was so focused on that, I never focused on the first one's body and the second one's face. That it balances them out, and they're actually, you know, not larger than life. They're just perfect tens, which is what you're supposed to be. If you're not a perfect 10, something has went wrong. If you're not enlightened and a perfect 10, something has went wrong. It's not supposed to be an anomaly. It's supposed to be the norm. Oh yeah, so this guy, Asjo on the extreme boards, he came back. He was on vacation, so he's posting videos again. So I'm so excited. And he had been posting. He posted 200, and they didn't even get posted. I had been waiting and wondering, and what's going on with this guy. I just love this guy, and I talked to him once, messaged him. I was starstruck. I was like, oh my god, I can't. He has a compilation. He has the best compilation of anyone in the whole world of every femdom, every femdom scene in every movie and TV show ever. And so for months he was not posting, and then he suddenly posts and says, "Hey guys, I actually have been posting, and they just haven't been showing up for some reason." And I kept thinking they would be showing up any day now, any day now. There was some glitch, but finally I just had to abandon it and go to a different uploading link or some, use some other um, format or something. I don't know. But he's got the format back, and now he's posting again. So he might post another video today, which is pretty cool. Well, it's very romantic. I'm getting older. I'm more like a woman now. I'm rounding out, getting more round, curvy, like a woman. And so obviously, I like my romance. I don't want to just see hardcore porn. I want to watch an actual scene, and the femdom scenes are fantastic. Now, I think the fawn on the fucking spaghetti is gonna be premium right now. Oh, it's gonna be good. I kind of want to play Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is a game that's a next gen game, and it's the whole reason that I bought this Xbox. And it ended up being, I'd guess, my favorite game, yeah. Maybe Sekiro, but Sekiro's too hard. I might come back to Sekiro. A lot of people say I played Sekiro 3 years later, 5 years later, whatever. I said 5 years later because 3 years later reminded me of a Masonic number. Man, that's the thing that sucks about anchoring when the associations are just endless, is that you see the things that are anchors all the time. It's kind of like stolen valor. Like Freemasonry steals the valor of the number 3. Like it's just the number 3. It has nothing to do with Freemasonry. But because Freemasonry has claimed the number 3, like they've stolen the valor of the number 3. They're like, yeah, this is our number now. So now when you just see the plain number 3, you think of Freemasonry. At least you do if you're being gang stalked, because then you're having that talked about by people who you watch on YouTube. I don't particularly see the Freemasonry in my gang stalking. If I start talking about it, certainly I will. Like, because I'm making this video talking about it, if I were to go out for a bike ride today, there might be someone who would put the number 3 up with their fingers as they walk by me. But if I don't talk about it, I typically don't really see anything about it. Although I do believe that they're involved, just like I believe the police are involved. And I believe the police and the Freemasons and the gangs are the same people. I would like to get to a point where I don't even think of the Freemasons when I say the number 3. And something recently happened when I looked at my TLC Tugger, which is normally something that has a very positive association for me. I instantly get happy every single time. I don't know if you've ever had something like that, like a new bike or I don't know, just um, clodhoppers. I used to get these things called clodhoppers. They were these chocolate Rice Krispie type snacks that I'd get at the drug store. And when I had a bag of those, I was having a good time. And they had white chocolate clodhoppers. And these things can be made vegan. Replicas that are so good that you wouldn't even know. People say it's scary how good this is. Why is it scary? Because it makes me feel like I don't have to hurt animals. And now I'm on the line. Now that I know this exists, it comes down to, am I going to fork over the extra money for this? Scary to figure out that I actually don't care. Because I haven't worked it out yet that I'm a perfect 10. I still feel hard done by. And I'm fucking scrambling here to make ends meet. I don't have time for self actualization. I don't have time for morality. I'm trying to survive. I've been given an unfair deal. Doi, 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 doi. And I'm really angry about it, and it's your fault. That's what I saw in her eyes when I was looking at our pictures. And I had never, ever seen it. I thought she was larger than life. She thought she was less large than life. So we balanced each other out. That's how it worked. And by the time she cried when I had broke her trust, I had already been like cuckolded by her, and I didn't like it. It wasn't fun. It wasn't like something like now where I'd jack off to it. It was really upsetting. Back I had a lot of pride back then. I was like in denial and going into all sorts of coping mechanisms, and it was messed up. And the strange thing is, I still, in a certain sense, completely love them. Like, just absolutely perfectly love them. They couldn't be better. They couldn't be more perfect. They couldn't turn me on more. I mean, that's in a certain mood of, before the orgasm. And then immediately after, it's, oh my God, you fucking God. Oh, this is the worst. Oh, how ugly you are. Oh, on the inside. What a nightmare that would be. Imagine getting stuck with you. Okay, time to check on the spaghetti. There's definitely going to be fun.